Hi, Management 7500 students. This is Steve Wagner, your professor. And this video is meant as a tour of highlights of our Blackboard site that we're going to be using for this class in the spring semester of 2023. And so I want to welcome you to Management 7500 and show you some of the different parts of this course shell that you should be familiar with to give you an opportunity to further explore what this course involves and the different parts of the Blackboard site. So when you log into Blackboard and then come to this class, you will land on the announcements page. That's the landing page. And I will be posting announcements regularly throughout the semester, usually at least 3 or 4 announcements every week. And so you should keep track of those. Those also will be sent to your GSU email. And so that's another way that you can view the announcements. Now, when you want to go to other parts of the course, you're going to want to go to the main menu. And right now, that's not showing. And I just wanted to demonstrate how you get to that if it's not showing on your screen. You can see along this left-hand edge of the screen, there is this arrow, and you can click on that. This main menu is broken down into different sections. There's at the top general course information, and then course activities. There's a section for communications, and then at the bottom, a section for resources. And if you go even further below that, you will see there's a section for different groups that you will be a part of in this class. You'll be doing case study discussions in small groups, and will also have a group project called the Best Practices in Organization Behavior Group Project. And there are group areas within Blackboard dedicated to those assignments. But let's start back at the top here at the general course information, and we can go here and look at the orientation. And when we click on this, it gives you a number of different items that you should go through. You'll want to scroll down and look at all of these. Now, I'm not going to go through everything here. That's something you can do on your own, but I want to highlight one area at the top, and that's the course learning objectives, what I call the CLOs. And these are the goals that we have for learning in this class. And you will see reference throughout this class to CLOs, and that's because the assignments and the activities within this class are all designed to achieve these goals. And so I'll have notes throughout the class to tell you which specific goals this activity or assignment is relevant to. Now, there's other areas, again, you can go through those on your own, and that's certainly really the first thing you should be doing in this class is going through all of this orientation area. On the main menu below that, you will see there is an area for instructor information. This is another important area for this class. And it's got contact information for me. And you'll see that I don't list my office phone at GSU here because I've got all online classes, and the best way for you to call me is to call my cell phone. And I've got my cell phone listed here, and you can call me 7 days a week. I do ask that you call after 9 a.m. or before 9 p.m. If you get my voicemail or you choose to text me, please give me your name and the course that you're in and summarize what your question or concern is. Of course, you can also email me, and I've got my email there. And I also have office hours, and those office hours will be online on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 7 p.m. or by appointment. And you can get to those office hours through the link here in the instructor information. Those will be held in the video teleconferencing software within Blackboard called Collaborate Ultra. And I really encourage you to take the opportunity to come to my office hours. There may be areas in this class where you want to follow up with me, where you have questions about particular assignments, or you want to follow up on some lesson in class. And I am here to support you. And during those times on Tuesdays and Thursdays are a great time for you to just come and say hi and talk about the course. Next, we'll see there's other things here. Again, we could go back to the announcements by clicking on that. Another area is the syllabus and schedule. You'll see that I have both Word and PDF forms of the syllabus and the schedule posted here. I'm not going to go into detail in this video on those documents because I'll have another video in Module 1 that goes over those. But I do want to emphasize that it's very important that you read through these documents and that you refer to them regularly because they really have a lot of the answers that you might need contained within them. If we keep going down the main menu, you'll see the next section is course activities. And one of the main areas that you're going to be looking at here is inside the course modules. And if you go to course modules here, you'll see that module 1 is open. And you should also see that module 1 is a 2-week module. So some of the modules in this class last for 2 weeks. Those are at the beginning of the class and towards the end of the class. And then in the middle of the class, we have many modules that are 1-week modules. So you want to look and see what is the schedule for each particular module. These modules are not all released at the beginning. We go through them one at a time, and you can see the schedule for when each module begins. So when we click on the module, you'll see that when we go in here, it starts with this table of contents, and this has each of the items contained within the module, and you should click on and read each one of these. And you will see that it always begins with an overview that provides you with module learning objectives. These are kind of like the course learning objectives in that they're goals for what should be learned, but these are specifically for the module that we're in. And again, you will see that I will refer to these MLOs, these module learning objectives, along with the CLOs, the course learning objectives, for these different activities and assignments so you understand why you're doing that activity and assignment. What goal is it relevant to? You'll see that within each module, there's different items here. This is just telling you to go to the course orientation, and this is telling you to go to the syllabus and schedule. Introductions forum here in Module 1, where I'm asking you to introduce yourself to the class. In each module, there is an area where you've got the assignment for readings along with the PowerPoints that complement those. Reading the PowerPoints is not the same as reading the chapter. The PowerPoint should be used to take notes, to complement, to review, but you should be reading each of those chapters. And you will see here again that I note the learning objectives that the readings are relevant to. In each module, I'll have multiple videos for you to watch. And then towards the end of the table of contents, you'll see that there'll be different assignments. Now, when you look at the course schedule, you'll see that the activities and the assignments that are in each module correspond to that course schedule. So you can use the course schedule as a guide, and you'll notice that each of those things in the course schedule are contained within the module that is active. Okay, we can go back now to the main menu by clicking on the top here. And you can see that there's other things in course activities. So for instance, you can get to different assignments, of course, through the modules, but also directly through this link called assignments. Now, I encourage you to always go through each item in the module. It is giving you the foundation to do the assignments, and so that's very important. But if you, for instance, watched videos earlier in the week and you're coming back to do a quiz, if you want, you can just click on the assignments tab and then go to the folder that has the quiz within it. You'll also see that there is an area where you can look at your grades. I will be providing feedback on the work that you submit, and I strive to get that feedback to you within 1 week of the deadline that work was submitted by. You'll see in the syllabus and also in the assignments that I also have rubrics in many cases that tell you what is expected, and I use those rubrics when I grade, and you receive feedback on those rubrics in addition to written feedback for these assignments. And so you should use that feedback to improve your grade. And you'll find that if you read the feedback, it will speak specifically to why any course points were taken off. You'll see there's also an area here for group work areas. I discussed that earlier. So that's another area where you can access your case study discussion group or your best practices group project. Now that group project will not begin until module 2. So if you don't see that in module 1, that's okay. Don't worry, it will be available to you during module 2. There's another area here for communications. I want to speak quickly to email. Email is an area where you can send out email, but it's not an area where you receive email. So if you use this email, it will send an email to my GSU email box, and I will respond to you, and that will go to your GSU email box. So it's important that you use GSU email in this class. If you want to use a different primary email service, then make sure that your GSU email is being forwarded to that automatically. There's also areas here for you to ask course questions, and of course you can look on Blackboard Collaborate for meetings. At the bottom, there are these student resources, and the student resources have tutorials for you. You'll see here. If you're not as familiar with Blackboard, if this is the first time you're using it, or if there's a new feature that you're not familiar with, then you can come here and use these tutorials. I encourage you to do that. These are good resources for you to use. There's also here access to the GSU library and the College of Business website and the GSU Writing Center. So there's many other resources to help you to be successful in this class. So I want to encourage you again to be open in communications with me. With this being an online class, I don't get to look out into the student body and see if people are confused or have an apprehensive look on their face and ask to follow up. And so it's important that you take the initiative to communicate with me. And I really look forward to working with you in this class. I want you to be successful. I want this to be a class that benefits you in your career. And by us communicating with each other, it's much more likely that we're going to be successful together. So thank you for your time. Take care, and I look forward to talking with you. Bye now.